Slider. How come you call yourself Slider? Is it because you slide in the DMs and that, you know what I'm saying?
I slide in nobody's DMs.
Not even back in the day or nothing?
There was no such thing as DMs back in the days. Now my name's Slider because I used to be an MC when I was younger, and that was my nickname that I had as an MC. Literally because everybody just chose a name at that time, and everybody kind of like, some names related to people, some names didn't. It's just the name people chose. And my name was Slider, which coincided because at a similar time I started dancing. So, and I got addicted to sliding, so that the name kind of fit my character. And then after that, that name remained with me even when I stopped MCing. It still remained with me. I became a barber. Everyone called me Slider. And when I was thinking about a name for a website, I was like, you know, well, everyone called me Slider and knows me as Slider, so I'm going to stick with that name. You know, and long and short of it, how about, you know, Slider cuts, and the whole idea was Slider cuts hair. So yeah.
Wait, so that how could you stop MCing then?
Because it's like, you know, a childhood thing. I still every now and then put bars out there just for fun.
But yeah, you put that on your Instagram as well. They're called TT bars, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just for fun. But it's like, you know, MCing was, you know, it was a kind of like a thing as a child, which everybody was an MC or a DJ. You know, most of them aren't MCs or DJs anymore. You know, MCing at an old age is not growing up, but you know, not everyone can be that guy. So.
Well, tell me a bit about your background.
Well, I was born in like Northwest. Until I was about the age of 10, I lived in Neasden, I lived in Kingsbury, I lived in Kilburn, I lived in Elscourt. So I just moved around like Northwest. And then when I was 10, I moved to Northwest still, which was in Gospel Oak, which is NW5, but it's right at the age, but it's right at the age of NW5, right at the age of Northwest. And I lived there till I was 26 when I moved to Dalston, which is East London, where I'm still living now.
So, well, I've been doing my research, and you know, well, firstly, actually, I look-y feel like you weren't taking me seriously when I said I'm going to do this interview.
I booked you in, didn't I?
Actually, but no, at the start, I'm sure you were thinking that, nah, this guy's not going to follow through with this.
I booked you in. You said you wanted the interview, I said okay, and I booked you in.
All right.
You got your text message reminder yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. But anyways, like, I've been doing my research about stuff. So when you're like younger, like, your parents just split up. But like, what happened there?
I don't know. I was about 3 years old. They broke up. My dad, I think, I don't know how soon after, maybe a couple years after, moved back to Nigeria, and then yeah, that was life for me and my mom, or me and my brothers and my mom.
So how was it growing up?
You know what? How was it growing up? Growing up was good because you don't know any other life. You know, it wasn't like the greatest, but I enjoyed my childhood. Although there were things which everybody goes through as a child, but you know, I guess like when I was like, I don't know, 7, them ages there, I was in a racist school.
Oh damn.
I wouldn't say, it's weird, they were racist, but they were ignorant. Well, racism is ignorance. You know, and not all the time, sometimes it's not even ignorance, they know what they're doing. I would say purely these kids were just ignorant more so because they just didn't understand. And because me and my brother were the only 2 black kids in the school, it literally was like, it was a new thing to them. So they actually didn't really understand the whole being black thing. Like, they didn't even understand why when you scratched your skin, it would it turned kind of like white grey. They just didn't understand it. They're literally like, you know, they thought it was dirt coming off the skin. So it was literally ignorance, and I guess a lot of times as well, the things they were saying to me, they probably were just hearing it from their mum or dad. So they're just repeating the stuff they're hearing.
Because like, you're actually such a nice guy, and you're so like happy all the time. Certain people, then type of experiences will basically generate hate from them. Like, they'll always think about that, and that will just lead on to like a bad path type of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I guess everyone has a different character, so you know, I can't take credit for my own character because I didn't make myself. You know, so, and everyone, you know, takes different things from different situations which they encounter with. So with me, as example, I'm more of an optimistic person, and I'm not saying that as a thing, but just to say, like, I know people I hear so often people say, you know, I'm an optimistic person, and you look at them and say, you don't seem that optimistic, you know, but I'm generally just an optimistic person. So things like that which happen in life, I generally always look at the bright side of things. Like I've got this kind of like way of looking at things where it's always kind of like, you know, but it could be worse, you know, and look what happened to that person, you know, like experience racism, you know, growing up, which is bad, you know, definitely is bad, you know, but then there's people like, you know, Stephen Lawrence, who experienced racism and it ended up in his death. You guys might be too young to remember this situation in Elton, but you know, you always look at the things where it's like, you know, it could be that, you know, it could be worse, you know, and I'm still here, still breathing, so I've got to be thankful to God for that, you know.
Also, like, since you're obviously from Nigeria descent, and in Nigeria, like, it's the barbering business is for basically people who don't really have that much education type of thing.
Yeah.
So that when you became a barber, how did you tell that to your mom?
Well, I didn't have to tell my mom I became a barber because I was cutting hair at home all the time from when I was like 13, 14 years old. She saw me, she saw friends coming over to get haircuts. She saw when I started working part-time. So when I first started cutting hair, like professionally, I was working part-time outside of college. So she was happy because I'm working a part-time job while I'm studying, you know, bringing in a bit of money while I'm studying. So I was doing that part-time for like 2 years until I finished college. And then when I finished college, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be a barber for now until maybe I figure out maybe what I wanna do, and I'll go back to university if I find something I want to do. So my mom never actually said anything. She never actually said anything to me, except for when she started seeing things which are happening in my life, and she just like was having proud moments of like, you know, I'm so proud, you know, this and that and this. But she never actually discouraged ever being a barber.
That's right. But how did the haircut start? Why did you start cutting hair from such a young age?
I started cutting hair because I was getting haircuts at home from my mum, my older brothers, and the haircuts just weren't like the haircuts my friends in school were getting. And when I was getting to school, I went to a school which had loads of black kids in there, I was seeing, you know, loads of children with the same like hair texture and type as me. And they're coming in and they got fades, they got lines, they got low fades, skin fades, they've got waves in their hair, they've got borders, they've got all these different things, and I'm like, I want one of those haircuts. And my brother or my mum don't seem to be giving me this haircut, or, you know, providing me these haircuts. I was just getting like all one levels, no shape ups, you know. So I was like, you know what, I want one of these haircuts, so let me try to pick up the clippers and try it myself. But I realized that it was more than that, because before I ever picked up the clippers, I used to draw shape-ups in the back of my school books, the way I thought a shape-up should look. So when I look back now, I realised that I always had an interest in hair before I even realised it.
Alright, so by the way, like, I know I'm in a barber shop and I'm not getting a trim and I need a trim. So like it's a bit sticky, I'm gonna get a trim. Whoa.
Definitely need a trim.
Whoa.
Why?
Definitely need a trim.
But do you think you're one of the best barbers in the UK? No offense to you, man.
Well, no, you can say I'm one of the best because one of the best just means me alongside other people. So do I think I'm one of the best barbers in the UK? Being honest, I don't know, maybe. Maybe, I'm not saying I'm the best barber.
No, because you've been cutting some big people, Anthony Joshua, Dizzy Rascal,
Yeah.
Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah, I didn't cut a shaped up Daniel Sturridge. Well, cutting celebrities doesn't mean you're the best barber. It just means, you know, you cut celebrities. But, you know, the best barber is someone who actually cuts hair the best. So, let's say I'm one of the best barbers. I don't know, I'd put myself up there, if I'm being honest, I'd put myself up there, yeah, in the top league of barbers in this country. Champions League. Of barbers in this country. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm the best barber or anything like that, but I would put myself up there as one of those which are in the top league.
Top division.
You know?
But anyways, when did you start going clear, as they say? Because like you've been doing this barbering thing for like 15 years.
Yeah, more than, well, professionally 16 years, yeah.
So like, how did you go clear? Like, when did you start getting these big clients?
It's drips and drops. It's happened like slow. It's been a slow process. So there isn't a time for me to say, you know, I went clear at this moment, because everything that I've done in this journey added to where I'm at right now. So, you know, there will be defining moments, definitely, in my career, you know, which you could say speeded forward things, you know, my career, you know, or pushed my career forward, you know, at a quicker pace at that point in time. But like, you know, like my first celebrity client I cut was Richard Blackwood, and that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe like 14 and a half years ago, maybe, something like that. You know, so it's like, when people are like, you know, when did you start getting celebrities? Like, well, about a year and a half into my career, I cut a celebrity and he was big, you know. Do you know who Richard Blackwood is?
Not really.
You wouldn't know Richard?
Sorry about that, Richard.
See, the thing is, Richard Blackwood is like, at his time, like, he was just massive. Like, he was like the Will Smith of this country.
Yeah.
You know, at his time, you know.
Well, obviously, you got overtaken by me.
He's in EastEnders. Well, he wasn't EastEnders. Vince from EastEnders.
Nah, I don't think I was about like that.
No, I mean, no, Vince from EastEnders recently, like, he was recently in EastEnders as a character called Vince. You know, well, Richard Blackwood is massive anyway. He was massive. Anybody from our generation, they all know Richard Blackwood. You know, so I'd cut him. Then I'd cut a few footballers as well, because the barber who I worked under, he was cutting footballers, and when he wasn't around on holiday, I'd be the fill-in. So slowly I was cutting people every like now and then it's like, you know, I cut that person and he was an actor who was in this film or that film. Cool. Then it's like, you know, okay, I cut X, Y, and Z. Basically, there wasn't no like moment where it's like, you know, I just went clear. Because if you ask me now, you know, would I say I've gone clear? I don't know. It's harder to see things when you're on the inside. I'm not looking at myself from the outside. For you guys, it's a lot easier to see. But for me, I haven't got that vision. I'm on the inside of it. So when people even say to me, you know, wow, you know, you're doing this, or you're doing that, or you're branding well, and stuff like that, I don't actually fully know what my brand looks like. I know what I portray for my brand to look like, what it should look like, I hope it looks like, but I can't actually see that. I just know that I've done things, you know, I've implemented certain ethics, rules in my brand, you know, certain, what do you call it, codes of conduct, branding, colour and stuff like that, but when you're on the inside, I can't still see what that looks like. So I can only go off, you know, the response from people being like, you know, that looks good, or you're really doing well, or, you know, I see that. But it's hard for me to ever be like, you know, oh, I've gone clear, or I went clear here, or there, or then.
A couple of years back, I must have been going on my way to Sainsbury's or something on Kelly Road, and then I see you waving at me, and you had like a peg whip. It's like a little German thing there. 18 plate, yeah?
The way would have been 18 plate.
Was that 16 maybe?
Because we're 2018 now.
It was
2019. 2019, we just turned into 2019. I can't remember what car that would have been. It'd either be the BMW 2 Series, or it would have been...
I can't even remember the cars. No,
it's not that. It's not that. The car before that, I can't even remember the car I drove before that. I think it was a Mercedes C-Class. But don't let these things fool you. You know, it's all illusions. You know, not that my car was on finance, but some people have the car, not finance, I mean like lease. And a lot of these things are very attainable. You know, they're just very attainable. So I wouldn't say be fooled by them, you know. And even like the cars which I even bought before, you know, I bought them on finance. I bought them second hand. So, like, I don't want to fool anybody to be like, you know, oh yeah, I just took this and bought a new car, splashed out cash. No, I financed it, and it was 50K. And it wasn't 50K. I financed it, and it was second hand. You know, but yeah, so I had a few cars which I've enjoyed.